basket. Now, that baby, where does it end up? At the palace of Fir'aun, the last place the mother of Musa wanted her child to show up. And from the divine wisdom of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, Musa will not nurse. Pause. Ask yourself, what happens to a child that does not eat, that does not drink? The child dies. The child dies. It is in that moment the sister of Musa establishes her legacy. هل أدلكم على أهل بيت يكفلونه لكم وهم له ناصحون. Shall I inform you of a family that will take care of him, that will look after him, that will be sincere towards him? She knows the violence, the brutality of Fir'aun. And she knows that perhaps if it is exposed that she is the sister of Musa, then most likely she's done. She's gone. As the youth would say, she's cooked. It's over for her. But subhanallah, none of that stops her from speaking up in that moment. Why? Because she sees the opportunities to save a child, to save one life. Allah shows us her courage. هل أدلكم على أهل بيت يكفلونه لكم وهم له ناصحون. How powerful was her statement? Her statement was so powerful that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala preserved it for us in the greatest book that would be revealed to the greatest prophet that was sent to the greatest nation, that would read that book, and that would read that book even more in the month of Ramadan. That's what it means to have an impact. That's what it means to have a legacy. It's not about if someone remembers your name. It's not about if someone can read where you graduated from. It's about what impact did you make? What difference did you make? That's why the Prophet ﷺ, he told us in a beautiful hadith, لا تحقرن من المعروف شيئا. Don't belittle any good deed. If an opportunity presents itself, if Allah gives you the ability, the blessing to do a good deed, then take it. Run towards it. Accept it with open arms. Embrace it. Especially if that opportunity comes in the month of Ramadan. And then the Prophet ﷺ said, وَلَوْ أَن تَلْقَى أَخَاكَ بِوَجْهٍ طَلْقٍ. Even if that good deed is something that you may consider insignificant, even if it is something that you may consider so small as simply just smiling at another believer, because that smile may be the hope, may be the optimism that they need for that day. Because they lost a job, they lost a loved one. They were told by the doctors that they're terminally ill. They have a relationship issue in their family, in their marriage. And all they needed to give them hope, to give them optimism, to show them that other people care about them, all they needed to see was your teeth. وَلَوْ أَن تَلْقَى أَخَاكَ بِوَجْهٍ طَلْقٍ. This is the idea of being a difference maker. Perhaps your legacy, my legacy, is that we save one individual. We help one individual. Musa alayhi salam, he matures. He's now a young man. He wants to protect and defend his people. Unintentionally, he kills one of the people of Egypt because he was trying to defend one of his own. His own were oppressed. They were suffering of injustice. When he unintentionally kills this man, now Fir'aun and his army, they want revenge. They want his blood. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala once again introduces to us another character, another unsung hero. No name, no profession, no background, no ethnicity, just his legacy. وَجَاءَ رَجُلٌ مِّنْ أَقْصَى الْمَدِينَةِ يَسْعَى. A man came from the furthest end of the city. How did he come? He came running. There is literally one reference to this individual in the Quran. قَالَ يَا مُوسَى إِنَّ الْمَلَأَ يَأْتَمِرُونَ بِكَ لِيَقْتُلُوكَ the leaders, they're planning, they're plotting, they want to kill you. فَخْرُجْ. This man did not have the power, did not have the authority, did not have the strength to protect Musa. But still, his legacy to Musa, his legacy for us to read, one word, one piece of advice. فَخْرُجْ. Leave. إِنِّي لَكَ مِنَ النَّاصِحِينَ. I'm someone that gives sincere advice to you. Ask yourself, pause. Perhaps we don't have the rest of the story of Musa alayhi salam if this individual once again does not step up to the plate. If he doesn't tip off Musa that they're plotting and planning to capture you and then kill you. But Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, many times we see this in the Quran and we see this in the seerah, that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala uses individuals that society or you and I may consider average. Allah uses those individuals to bring about greatness to a community. We ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to make us individuals who worship Him by having an impact in the society that we live in. We ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to make us individuals who worship Him by making a difference in our society. أقول ما تسمعون وأستغفر الله لي ولكم ولسائر المسلمين من كل ذنب فاستغفروه إنه هو الغفور الرحيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين نحمده سبحانه وتعالى حمد الشاكرين ونستغفره استغفار المذنبين المقصرين ونصلي ونسلم على خير خلق الله وعلى آله وأصحابه ومن استنى بسنته إلى يوم الدين. You know, the beauty of examining these unsung heroes in the Quran is that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gives us a number of examples in different stories. And when He gives us these examples, He gives us examples of both men and women. We started with that individual that is mentioned in Surah Yasin. Then we talked about the sister of Musa. Then we talked about that individual, that man that told Musa alayhi salam, leave. Literally on the next page, Musa alayhi salam, he reaches Madian. When he reaches Madian, he sees two women. They're holding their flock of sheep back because they want to wait for the men to finish. He assesses the situation, he helps them. After he helps them, they go back. He goes under a tree, makes his beautiful dua, Rabbi inni lima anzalta ilayya min khayrin faqir. And then the father, he sends one of his daughters back and he says, go bring that individual that helped you. Musa comes in front of the father, he narrates his story. After narrating his story, the father comforts Musa alayhi salam. Najawta min al-qawmi al-zalimin. You're safe now. All the while, one of those two women was listening to the plight of Musa alayhi salam. Everything that he had gone through, everything that he had suffered. And when Musa alayhi salam finishes narrating his story, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala shows us the legacy of this woman. قال يا أبت استأجر. قالت يا أبت استأجر. She said, oh my father, hire this man. إن خير من استأجرت القوي الأمين. The best person that you can hire is someone that is strong and someone that is trustworthy. This woman herself could not help Musa. She could not give Musa money. But what she could do in that moment was she could advise her own father. And because she was so sincere, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala preserved for us her statement. So much so that when people talk about hiring other individuals, whether you have a business or a company, two qualities that get mentioned is what this woman said to her father. إِنَّ خَيْرَ مَنِ اسْتَأْجَرْتَ الْقَوِيُّ الْأَمِينَ. The best person that you can hire is someone that is strong, someone that is trustworthy. This was the legacy of this woman. not her name, not her background, not her ethnicity, not who her friends were. None of that. The impact that she had, the difference that she made. Ask yourself, what am I doing right now to leave a legacy? What am I doing in my community, in my society to make a difference? That if I were to pass away tomorrow, what are people going to remember me for? Not because I or you want the praise of people, but did I make a difference? Was I someone that just worshipped Allah, kept to myself, did my own personal worship, and went back and forth every day between home and the masjid, or work and school and the masjid? Or am I someone that when I pass away, I'll be missed in the community? They'll remember, it's not about the praise, they'll remember the difference that this brother made, that sister made. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, when He tells us of these stories, He intentionally tells us of these individuals so that you and I can realize that any single individual, any average individual can make a difference, can make an impact. What will be the legacy, what will be the difference that you and I make? We ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to make the Quran the spring of our hearts. We ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to make the Quran the light of our chests. And we ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to make His words the thing that removes our sadness and our grief and our anxiety from our hearts. And we ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to grant us sincerity. And we ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to make us of those that He sallallahu alayhi wasallam described as the most beloved people to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, when He said that the most beloved people to Allah are the ones that bring the most benefit to society and to mankind. As I end, two very, very quick announcements and two very, very important announcements. One is that I've come to this community before, it's been a couple years, but I've come today from California, and I've come at the request of the masjid. The masjid has requested that I help this community, your beautiful, amazing community that is filled with so many individuals, raise funds for this masjid, not for anyone else, not for another masjid, for this masjid, for the services that it provides, for the iftar that it provides on a daily basis, for the suhoor that it provides in the last 10 nights, to keep the lights on, to keep the fans running, so that there is staff that can keep the individuals that come to this masjid safe. I was told that the expenses of the masjid during the month of Ramadan, they shoot through the roof, because it's a place that remains open for worship, for community, for people to come together. So I urge you to stay with me just for a couple minutes after Salatul Jummah, as we try to expose ourselves to the mercy of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala by becoming maintainers and sustainers of His beautiful house. Look at how a simple idea decades ago by a few brothers who said, hey, let's build a masjid next to the campus, has grown into this, perhaps to them unimaginable. But when there is sincerity, Allah puts barakah in it. What Allah asks of us is to make a small sacrifice. Stay with me just for a few moments after Salatul Jummah as we raise funds for the house of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, for this community, that perhaps this becomes your legacy. I understand there's brothers and sisters that have to rush out. If you do have to rush out, if you have to get back to school or to work or to something else, please on your way out, donate. That's the first. The second announcement, I was just told before the Jummah Khutbah, there was an elderly man who came to this community not too long ago for medical treatment. He passed away in the morning today, around 3 a.m. We will have Salatul Janazah for him after we fundraise for a few moments. I beg everyone to stay, because this brother has no family here. Today, we are his family. Today, we will collectively come together and pray Janazah over him and make dua for him. We are his family, we are his community. So stay with me after Salatul Jummah for a few moments as we expose ourselves to the mercy of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala by maintaining and sustaining the house of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and then immediately after that we'll pray Salatul Janazah. ربنا آتنا في الدنيا حسنة وفي الآخرة حسنة وقنا عذاب النار. اللهم يسر أمورنا واشرح صدورنا ونور قلوبنا. اللهم إنا نسألك الهدى والتقى والعفاف والغنى. اللهم انصر إخوان المستضعفين في مشارق الأرض ومغاربها. اللهم كن لهم معينا ونصيرا ومؤيدا وظهيرا. اللهم فرج هم المهمومين ونفس كرب المكروبين واقض دين عن المدينين واشف مرضانا ومرضى المسلمين وارحم موتانا وموتى المسلمين. وصل اللهم على نبينا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه وسلم. أقم الصلاة.
الله أكبر الله أكبر. أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله. أشهد أن محمدا رسول الله. حي على الصلاة حي على الفلاح. قد قامت الصلاة قد قامت الصلاة. الله أكبر الله أكبر. لا إله إلا الله.
استووا استقيموا. Strain the lines, close the gaps. الله أكبر. الحمد لله رب العالمين الرحمن الرحيم مالك يوم الدين. إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين. اهدنا الصراط المستقيم صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين. والعصر إن الإنسان لفي خسر إلا الذين آمنوا وعملوا الصالحات وتواصوا بالحق وتواصوا بالصبر. الله سمع الله لمن حمده. الله أكبر. الله أكبر. الله أكبر. الله أكبر. الحمد لله رب العالمين الرحمن الرحيم مالك يوم الدين. إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين. اهدنا الصراط المستقيم صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين. قل هو الله أحد الله الصمد لم يلد ولم يولد ولم يكن له كفوا أحد. الله أكبر. سمع الله لمن حمده. الله أكبر. الله أكبر. الله أكبر. الله أكبر. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. As I mentioned at the end of the khutbah, if you can stay with me just for a few moments, we'll try to expose ourselves to the mercy of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, supporting this beautiful masjid, this community, and then after that we'll pray Salatul Janazah over our brother. The Prophet ﷺ said that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, "Anfiq unfiq alayk." Spend and I will spend upon you. Right now is the moment on the day of Friday in the most blessed month. We're fasting, we've just prayed Salatul Jumu'ah. Seize the opportunity. Do as much good as you can. Perhaps what you give today feeds a person, keeps the services of the masjid going, keeps the community safe, and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala makes this your legacy, insha'Allah, the thing that you are proud of on the Day of Judgment. Do I have a brother or a sister, inshallah, that can support this masjid, be a maintainer, a preserver of this house of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala with $10,000? Do I have a brother? Yes? May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala bless you and increase you. Say Ameen. Ameen. Do I have a second individual that can do 10,000 insha'Allah? A second individual that can do 10,000. Use the blessings and opportunities that Allah has given you and Allah will literally make it rain upon you. Do I have a second individual that can do 10,000? May Allah bless you and increase you. Say Ameen. Say Ameen. Make the masjid shake. Say Ameen. Sometimes people get worried at fundraisers. If I say Ameen too loud, money's gonna fall out. Do I have a third individual that can do 10,000 insha'Allah? A third brother or sister that can do 10,000 insha'Allah? Ya baghi al-khayr aqbil, O seeker of good, come forward insha'Allah. We have them over here. Do I have a third individual that can do 10,000 insha'Allah? A third individual that can do 10,000 insha'Allah. Seize this opportunity. Invest in the community, but perhaps more important, invest in yourself. وَمَا تُنْفِقُوا مِنْ خَيْرٍ فَلِأَنفُسِكُمْ. You're going to reap the benefit. You're going to reap the reward. Perhaps through this, Allah saves the Islam of one of the young people in the community, but perhaps even more important, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala preserves Islam within your family, within your bloodline. Do I have a third person that can do 10,000 insha'Allah? One last individual perhaps that can do 10,000 insha'Allah. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is asking for a loan. When Allah asks for a loan, He's just testing our submission, our sacrifice. One more individual that can do 10,000 bi'idhnillah. Seeker of good, come running forward. If Allah has given it to you, that means Allah can give you even much more. Allah can give you more than you can count, more than you can imagine. Do I have one more individual that can do 10,000? One more individual that can do 10,000. Khair, I'll go down to 5,000. Who can do 5,000 insha'Allah? Who can do 5,000 insha'Allah? Where's my first individual that can do 5,000? We had two individuals at 10. I know there's at least a couple or one individual that can do 5,000 bi'idhnillah. Once the Prophet ﷺ, he told Asma radiallahu anha, he said, "Anfiqi wa la tuhsi." Give and don't count. Because if you start counting, Allah may count when He gives you. What you give today will feed people, will support people, will help people remain firm upon their religion. Who is the person that Allah will use? Be the person that Allah uses to spread His light, to spread His guidance. Who can do 5,000 insha'Allah? Who can do 5,000 insha'Allah? Who can do 5,000 insha'Allah? Yes? May Allah bless you and increase you. Say Ameen. Ameen. May Allah give you more. Say Ameen. Ameen. Who else can do 5,000? Who else can do 5,000 insha'Allah? Who else can do 5,000 insha'Allah?
Our expenses in the month of Ramadan surged by over $100,000. This is to ensure security that is full-time, iftar every night, and suhoor in the last 10 nights insha'Allah, but also the water, the electricity, and the extra staff that need to be hired to keep the masjid clean. Partake in this reward insha'Allah, partake in this effort, barakallahu fikum.
Have a paradise mindset. Have a paradise approach. The Prophet ﷺ said that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has utaqa every single night in the month of Ramadan. Perhaps tonight will be your night. You showed up, you prayed Jumu'ah, you fasted, you're about to pray Salatul Janazah. All of these actions, when they come together in one individual, one of the scholars, he said, when praying, fasting and sadaqah come together in one individual in a short span of time, it obligates, it necessitates for that person paradise. Today, tonight might be your day. Might be your night. Do I have a second individual that can do 5,000? One, yes? May Allah bless you and increase you and give you more. Say Ameen.
Ameen.
Ameen. Imam Umar, we're at 30.
Yes.
I can get one more 5 inshallah. Bismillah. Can we do one more 5 inshallah? Can one more person? We'll do one more 5 inshallah. One more 5 bi'idhnillah. Sisters, we need your assistance. We need your help. You are supporting an entire community. Wallahi, for me, as an outsider, it's a breath of fresh air coming to this community right next to a college campus, where there are so many influences and so much immorality and corruption in the societies that we live in. And Allah has blessed you. In the heart of all of that, He has given you a house of His, not just a house that is vibrant and provides services for the community. One more individual that can do 5 inshallah. One more final individual that can do 5 bi'idhnillah. Khair, who can do 2,500? Who can do 2,500 bi'idhnillah? Can anyone do 2,500? Yes? May Allah bless you and increase you and give you more. A second individual.
Ameen.
Thank you. A second individual that can do 2,500. A second individual that can do 2,500. Yes? Sister in the
We have
back.
a sister.
Yes? Takbir.
Allahu Akbar.
May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala increase you and give you more and make it a means of your forgiveness.
Ameen.
A third individual that can do 2,500. A third individual that can do.
another one over
Yes? Third, mashallah. Takbir.
Allahu Akbar.
A fourth that can do 2,500. Imam Umar, that will take us to 45,000. A fourth individual that can do 2,500. A fourth individual that can do 2,500. Ya baghi al khayr. Give. Don't give today what you're comfortable with. Let's go to the ones. Khalas. Give something that will make you cringe. Do I have one final 2,500? One final, yes? See, he was waiting. I told you, Imam Umar. Takbir.
Allahu Akbar.
Okay, we gotta pray Salat al-Janazah, but wait. Who can do 1,000? Who can do one, two? I have 2 people at 1,000. 3, I have a sister in the back. 3, 4, where's 4? Get us to 50,000. Get us to 50,000 inshallah. We're 2,000 away from 50,000.
Our goal this Ramadan is to fundraise 100,000. So we're already halfway there, inshallah, by your efforts.
By your
we're
efforts.
halfway there, inshallah, by your efforts, bi'idhnillah.
2 more people at 1,000 will get us to 50 inshallah. I need 2 more people at 1,000 inshallah. Ya baghi al khair aqbil. Come running forward. Come racing, come rushing. This is a moment that you will be so proud of when you meet Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala inshallah. Do I have, yes? Takbir.
Allahu Akbar.
One more individual that can get us to 50,000. One more individual that can get us to 50,000 inshallah. Yes? Takbir.
Allahu Akbar.
Imam Umar, I'm going to ask the community that we have to pray Salat al-Janazah on your way out. Usually we do 500, 250. We didn't have time. We want to make sure everyone gets the reward of Salat al-Janazah. On your way out, whether it's 1,000, 500, 250, make sure you donate. But after you donate, I need you to do something important. After you donate, make dua to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, because one of the most powerful du'as that you make is after you give sadaqah. Barakallahu feekum, jazakumullah khairan. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Barakallahu feek, Shaykh, and may Allah reward and increase you and your families and bring you blessings and mercy in this month of Ramadan for everyone who donated. Inshallah, on your way out, we have new machines. All you have to do is wave your wallet in front of it, and subhanallah, it withdraws all your funds. It withdraws all your funds. It's called Tip Tap. You put your card in front of it, 10, 25, 50, 100, 250, $500. You can customize the amount. That way it's quick and you can give on your way out, inshallah, and then it will benefit people who are coming to the mosques, bi'idhnillah. Inshallah, we will have other opportunities to donate. Find any of the volunteers with the pledge forms if you wish to donate more. And inshallah ta'ala, a few announcements. We are going to have a qiyam and a bazaar today. So if you want to partake, and inshallah, please reach out to us. And we also have, inshallah, a fundraiser on March 16th for our brothers and sisters in Sudan. And we ask that you keep Brother Mu'taz's father in your dua. He is the principal of Noor Academy. His father is sick, gravely ill, and we ask that Allah grant him shifa. He is the Lord of the Almighty Throne. He is the healer. None heals except Him. And we ask Allah to deliver him recovery and healing. Ameen. Barakallahu feekum. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah.